Hello everyone, welcome. This is Tom Doherty talking to you today from Long Island, New York. Hope you're doing well. I took a sample from a training I did last night for my local team, and I wanted to share it with you guys on the internet. I'll keep this video short. It's only a couple slides. It's something you don't really hear that much in network marketing. You hear from the top leaders like you should have a daily routine, and absolutely, you should definitely have a daily routine. But you also need a way to track your daily routine. And, just like this says right on the screen, you will never be able to hit a target you can't see. So you should write down your goals and stuff like that. And I'm going to give you some options. Some may be a little old school, some may be a little new, but everybody has a different personality. And I think everybody will pick something that fits their personality and what they like. And I'll show you what I use and some tips on how I do it. And I hope that helps you guys. So I thought this was pretty funny. A guy's head's in the sand. Like, how are you supposed to get anything done with your head in the sand? So you'll never be able to hit a target you can't see. And things that get scheduled are the things that get done. Think about it. Did you ever say in your mind, like, or out loud, I forgot to do that. I wish I would have wrote it down, right? Or, oh man, if I would have scheduled this, it would have got done. Or think about something you wrote down. Like, did you ever have a really busy day and you wrote down, this is what I want to get done today? It got done. Or maybe it got close to done. If you didn't write that down, it probably, a lot of those things probably wouldn't get done at all. So it's so important to write things down. And it's giving your MLM business the respect it deserves. If you're just hoping for things to happen and not really scheduling follow-up calls and tracking what you're doing, are you really giving it the respect it deserves? I heard top leaders say, if someone was complaining, let's say someone was complaining about something, maybe something wasn't working, maybe they wanted more people enrolled, the top leader in that company, one of the things that you hear them say all the time is, let me see your calendar for the last week. It's usually empty, right? It's usually empty. So here's a real easy thing you could do, okay? You can get a planner. It's a small investment, but if you start tracking the things that you're doing and putting your follow-up calls and things like that in there, you're gonna see changes in your business. It's something you should do. If you worked a job where at your job you had to do phone calls and meetings and drive and meet people, you better believe that gets tracked. That gets tracked. You should give your MLM business the respect it deserves and track what you're doing. So I'm going to give you guys a couple options. Here's one option. You can get a planner. This is what most people do. When I first started in network marketing, MLM, I had a planner. My upline told me get a planner, and that's what I used. I grew into other things, and I'm going to give you some options. So I'm going to give you a few options and see what you like the best and do it, and use which one you like the best. Another option, believe it or not, I took this picture offline. It's not mine. I think it's for like recipes or something like that. But it's an index card holder with index cards. And what you could do with this is, like, you can write down on the index card each prospect. So one index card would be John Smith, and you'd write down notes and date that, maybe you talk to him today and it's the 1st, and you have a follow-up call on the 7th. There's little things that separate this, just like a file cabinet. You could see, like, I think the first one here says appetizer. Each one you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through 31, and you take that card and you'd put it on day 7, because that's when your follow-up is. So when you wake up in the morning, you go to whatever day it is, and you open that section, and you say, oh, cool, I have 5 follow-ups, and you can put things to do in there as well. Keep in mind, too, all these methods I'm sharing with you, I've used them all. Trust me, I use them all. So this is pretty cool. Some people like this. I use this as well. I used the daily planner for a couple years. I used this for about 6 months. Some things I didn't use as long because I like, right now I'm kind of using digital stuff, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. But you may think, wow, this is going to help me out so much. That's what this training is here for. So I hope that These are giving you ideas, and I hope you pick one and use it. Another one, and this is pretty old school. This is pretty old school. Someone was laughing last night at me, but I'll tell you something. The first network marketing company I worked at, the top income earner, not the top income earner, the top title. It was extremely hard to hit that top title. She used an accordion folder. She was on stage at one of the events, and I was like, if she's the top title in the company and she's saying do this, I'm doing it. So I grew from the daily planner, then I was using the index cards, and then I said, let me try the accordion folder. She would write down on the accordion on this. It was similar to the index cards because you can get one that's dated 1 through 31. So it's the same concept as the index cards, but the person's name was on a piece of paper. We would have these sign-up sheets where we would collect people's names, and what she did, and you guys should do this too, because I still do it, because you're assuming you're enrolling that person. You write down their name, you write down all the information that you currently have on that person, put it on a piece of paper, and then use that as like jotting notes. Like you date it and you put down what you spoke about or when the follow-up call is. But you're assuming that person is eventually going to enroll with you if you write down all their info. And then you use this just like the index cards. It's separated by days. Maybe the next follow-up's on the 17th. You put you write down your notes for that day, and then you put the paper on the 17th. So in the morning or when you're done with your day job, if you're still working one, you come home, you check the accordion folder on that date, and you say, oh, okay, I got 4 sign-ups. And I remember doing this. I remember using the accordion folder, and I had all these papers. And I was like, wow, this person joined, this person joined. So when you do these little things, things happen. So if you're like, hey, that's a great idea, I hope this helps you. I hope this helps you. If you've never seen this before. In the digital world, now it's a lot of things are digital. I use this. This isn't my calendar personally. This is just a copy I saw on the internet. I didn't want to give you my personal calendar because there's phone numbers and personal things in there. I can't, put out on the internet on YouTube. But I'm going to share with you a funny story. I remember it was about a year ago. I was doing a presentation similar to this, and I was showing a person my calendar on my team. And I'll give you a tip because this is what I do. And keep in mind, I'm full time, and then I'll give you like a part-time suggestion. So what I usually do is my follow-up calls and my new calls, I usually call about 11 o'clock, late morning, mid-afternoon around 3, and about 6 o'clock in the evening. Now, I find those are the best times to connect with people. And another reason why is one time I was at the meeting, and there was someone that was kind of new, and I was all excited about my calendar. It was just packed with phone calls, and I showed him my calendar, and literally, I don't think there was, every half hour there was a call set from like 9 o'clock in the morning to like 9 at night. He goes, Tom, when do you ever have time to do anything besides calling people? And I was like, wait a second, he's right. It's not that my calendar is like that every day, but I didn't really have a scheduled time when I was setting up appointments. I was kind of leaving it up to whatever. The person, I guess. And I talk to a lot of people, obviously, because if you have a calendar like that, a call every half hour, follow-ups, you're talking to a lot of people. So after that, after I had that conversation, I was like, wow, I need to change things. And you should do this too. You always have to innovate and get better, So after that, I started scheduling things 11, 3, and 6. Now, I'm full-time in the industry. If you're not full-time, maybe you work like 9 to 5. Schedule all your calls after 6, right? Or maybe during your lunch break. If it's really important, do it on your lunch break. So that's what you can do. So I use this. Another reason why I use this is it also syncs with my phone. And I think a lot of people are doing this. There's a lot of digital calendars out there. This one's pretty popular, Microsoft Outlook. So I have this, it syncs with my phone. So I have everything on the phone and the computer. I'm always on my calendar. And I'll schedule different things in there too. I might put down like For instance, like I'll definitely put follow-up calls, like I said, but I'll put new calls. I'll schedule meetings in there, and then I can always look back and see what went on. Like, okay, in the month of, 2 months ago, how many people did I enroll? And I'll see my activities. Like maybe in the current 2 months, like this month and last month, maybe I didn't enroll anyone, but I enrolled someone the month before. I may go back and look at my activities. So it's really important to do this. And I'll tell you something, the more activities you have in your calendar, the more people you're going to enroll, and people are going to do what you do on your team. Don't you want that? Okay? So this is what I currently use. And guys, you can even use a notebook. I remember when I first joined network marketing, my enroller at the time, they had like a CD they were giving out. And he would write down every day, like each page was a day. He would write down what he was doing, and he'd write down all the people he gave the CD to. His goal was to give out 3 CDs a day and collect other CDs. Like he would use a CD as a tool to introduce the network marketing company, and he would always get that CD back from the person. And he showed me a book. Excuse me. He showed me a notebook, and it was like, it was a whole bunch of pages with all these activities that he did. And you saw as it moved forward, because he was going through the numbers, all of a sudden this page, he had like, I guess it was a star or something on there. And it was people that joined. And it was like the first week, nothing happened. The second week, nothing happened. The third week, nothing happened. The fourth week, nothing happened. Now, keep in mind, he was giving out like, I think 2 to 3 CDs a day, at least, and collecting CDs. So it was like the first maybe 6 weeks, nothing really happened. Then all of a sudden, the 7th week, someone enrolled. The 8th week, he had 2 new people enrolled. It starts to accumulate. So if you build up your calendar, with all these activities, all of a sudden, everything starts to accumulate. You don't know when success is going to happen on your end. It could take a year of doing things. What are you going to be doing besides working? Who cares? So build it up that way. And here's another thing. If you're like, man, nothing's really going on, always say to yourself, oh, well, what did I do this week? Let me look at the calendar. What did I do this week? What did I do this past month? If you're not introducing your opportunity to new people, what do you think's going to happen? So guys, I hope this helped you. This is the end of the training. I'm signing off now. Leave me a comment. Let me know if this helped you, if it gave you some ideas, or maybe you're not even planning out your week, and this really like gave you an aha moment, and now you're gonna start planning out your schedule. So I will see you guys in another training. Have an awesome day. Thanks.